Alright, hello there everyone. This is Soul Super 17 here. And let me first, like usual, I do not own this picture and this is not a paid video. Alright, okay, so here's what's gonna happen. Well, actually, here's what's happening in this video. I am, having. Okay, sorry about that. I was just putting stuff away in the sink, but yeah. Anyways, that's what I was saying. I'm making, Bakugo in this one. Kind of trying to have a redeemable quality. He's gonna try to redeem himself basically. And yeah. Also, after the sports festival, during the sports festival, I'm gonna kind of have Kagome and Melissa ask out Deku again. So yeah. Alright, and also, I'm gonna basically doing the USJ and this, hero versus villains. And I do apologize for the last video with the whole entire, I meant to say all my, I got everything mixed up. I was meant to say, All Might knew, but he didn't. But he still somehow he understood, but he was confused on how could he do more than one element, and all that. So, or something. I was tired last night, so my apologies. But I'll explain All Might, basically remembers what he says. I'll just have him he just forgot because of, he's acting like a teacher and he's pretending he doesn't know, so he just pretends he has that this and this. So yeah. Alright. Okay, next video is coming out. It's the Persona one. Alright. And we're having a lot of references to the other three Persona games. Persona 3. Wait, Shin Megami Tensei. Persona 3. Persona 4. And Persona 5. And we're going with the Royal Edition. So basically, we're gonna have the spirit of, how can I say this? We're gonna have a certain spirit come around. We're gonna have people from Persona 4 around, but as old people. So, and plus in Persona 5, we're having them in their 40s. So basically, what's happening is in that one, we are going to the calf. We are going to Lebanon. Yeah, I think that's how it is. I'm gonna have to look back on it, but we're going to the calf. We're going back into it. We are gonna be there, and basically, the shop owner, we all know him. I call him the most kindest person ever. But he's not gonna be around. Futaba's gonna be the one who owns it. Fujio? I think that's how you pronounce it. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry to everyone. But he's not gonna be around, and I don't want to do it, but I kind of I can make him be in his 60. I mean, not his 60s, his 80s or 90s. But I mean, I'll leave it up to you guys. If you say yes, put him in there. I will. I like the guy a lot, and I'm gonna have him teach him how to make coffee too. Futaba, is running the place, and she has her job too online. She does she has the kids and all, but they're older now, so they're in college. And Izuka Midoriya will be in with Futaba. Basically, she owns the calf, everything else, and yeah, the Persona 5 protagonist does, come over and visit. So, but he never met Deku because he's, in another part of Japan and everything else. And yeah, that'll be that freaking story. And we're going to have a lot of references to it. So basically, we're going to have Tartarus. We're going to have the TV world. We're going to have Mementos. We're going to have, basically just one slew of things. And plus, we may meet Akechi. The one that has two different personas, Loki and, Robin Hood. Yeah, that guy. He's going to be in there. He's going to be in there as a spirit. And he's just going to, just become friends with Deku. And he's walking around the city. and you'll meet him in like mementos once in a while. And yeah, also the teams. I think it's gonna be fun. But anyways, yeah. So after this, what if I'm gonna try to work on that, but that's gonna come out later tonight. And I do hope you all enjoyed that because I'm gonna have a lot of fun. But I'm rambling on. I apologize for that. I just really wanted to get that out because I've been trying to really figure out a time to make it, and now I do. So, anyways, this is what if Deku was saved by Lucifer, part 3, and that is a clock. Alright, so as Deku basically is, getting ready for school, he decides to text Emily and Kagome. He asks them if they want him to, he asked them if they want him to come and pick them up and all that. And give me a minute, everyone. Alright, sorry. So yeah. So basically, what happens is that, they say, no, we can walk. Both of them say that. And he just says, really? You don't want me to come and get you? I can easily find out where you are. And they go like, really? He goes, yeah. And next, Kagome says, alright, prove it. To, come get me. And next, a few minutes later, well, he does, get in his clothes and everything else. And he tells his mom he's gonna go, but he's gonna get Kagome and, Melissa. So basically, she says, alright, just be safe. And he says, I will. So basically, when he teleports, he's out. She had, a little balcony to her room. And he just knocks on the door. And she's already dressed, so, yeah. No thoughts like that. But, yeah, so basically, she, looks at the back of her door to her port, to her little balcony. She's, looking at him like, really? You could find me. He goes like, yeah. She said that, and she opens the door. He goes like, she just says, come on in. So he comes in. He says, wow, nice room. She goes, thanks. So basically, she gets her shoes on, gives her, bag, and he texts Melissa and says, alright, I'm coming to pick you up now. She's like, alright, if you can really find out where I live, I'll meet you outside my house, basically. So he teleports with, Kagome, and he's right up there. 5 minutes later, 2 minutes later, she comes out, and she's like, cool, taxi service. And he's like, I'm not a taxi. And she just laughs and says, I know. So yeah, this is... So basically, that happens, and we're doing, the hero versus villains today, in this, so yeah. So what happens is, the hero versus villains, they decide to walk to school. And I just had to turn my fan. So basically what happened, so because they decide to, walk to school, they decide to talk. And they're talking about their relationship, where it's standing. And so Deku just says, I don't know for sure yet. We're talking a lot more. We're, getting to know each other a lot better. But it's I don't know. Have you thought about me, in any other ways? And they say, yes, we really want to date you. And he goes, is it because of the power? And they say, and they just both just slap him at the same time. And he says, I deserve that. I know. And they just get mad at him. He goes, look, sorry, it's just because, well, you never know. I'm being cautious, and they go we know. So they just say, can we just talk about it more now? Since we're, not in the classroom, we're just walking there. It was fine. So they talk about their relationship on how he feels about them and all, and he says he still loves them, cares for both of them and all that, and they're just happy to hear that, and that he can't really choose either one of them. So they say, so does that mean we're, gonna date? He goes let's just wait a while and see. I have a feeling there are some guys in the classroom that likes you, so let's have them, tell you first before I just say, yeah, I'll date you, and then I don't have to deal with people trying to kill me. As they just both just like look at him and they say, really, guys like us? He goes like, well, you're the popular girl from middle school, and you're her best friend. He says that to Kagome and Melissa, so they're like, true. Alright. When they get to UA, some guys are looking at Deku with a glare, and he just looks at everyone. He looks at the girls, and that's basically around him. Melissa and Kagome are just giving this aura like they want to like basically beat them to live in bloody pulp, and he just says to them, "Just calm down. I only have eyes for you two." As their faces just go red, as the girls notice, so they basically get mad and they say like, "What's with them?" And the guys just say like, "Oh, so he's dating those two," and they just get even mad because it says like he's got two girls and they're both freaking cute and one of them's just hot. One of them's cute and one of them's hot, basically. So what happens is they end in class, everything's going the same, and what happened? So basically, the thing is, oh yeah, I forgot. I did say he got earrings. So basically, he has the earrings on. He basically just pierced his ears. He pierced them today, in the video. Like, he just put them in. And no one noticed, not even Melissa Kagome, until they get to class. Hold on, one. Oh, back, but yeah. And they just say, like, Zuko, your ears. He goes, yeah, got them pierced. Well, actually, I did them myself, so what do you think? And they just blush and they say, you look hot. And he just smiles and goes, "Aw, thank you. I know I am." And that's when no one's in the classroom. It's just like they're like pretty good. Like Melissa lived close to UA, so they get there pretty early. And like Momo, like they just sit in their seats. Momo sees him and she sees the pierced ears. Like she noticed it right away because she pays attention to detail, and like for some weird reason, when he looks over her face just goes bright red, and he goes, my looks, they're gonna be a freaking problem for me." As Melissa and Kagome say, "Yeah, but we like you this way. Actually, no, we liked you a little bit way before you got your looks." And he goes, "Really?" And they say, "Yeah, we do. We still love the Izuku Midoriya that we rejected and we were gonna ask out before the incident." And Momo, kind of snapped out of that, and she heard incident. She goes, "What?" So she wants to go and ask, but she's a little bit saying like it's too personal, so she won't ask. But she does come up saying, "Oh, hello there, Zuku. I mean, hello there, Midoriya." He goes, "Hello there, Momo. How are you today?" She goes, "Fine." You got your ears pierced. He goes, "Yeah, I did it myself. How do they look?" And then she just blushes and she says, "It looks good on you." He goes, "Thanks." So, she walks back to, her seat, and most people coming in, Ida sees him with pierced ears. He just asked him, like, how did you get them? He goes, "I did it myself, and I had the earrings already, so I just decided to do it. Are you going to tell me it's going to be against school regulations?" He goes, "No." And just walks in and just sits down. Ida decided to be a little bit less strict, so he just says, though, "It looks good on you, though. Somehow suits you better than than anyone could imagine." He goes, "Wow, Ida, that's the nicest thing you ever said to me." He goes, "I realized I was being a jerk, so my apologies." And he goes, "Yeah, just don't like a stickler for the rules all the time. We're good." He goes like, "All right, I got it." So yeah, so basically what happens is Bakugo comes in. He sees Deku and piercings and all that, and he's like, "What the heck is going on with Midoriya?" Well, he says, "What?" Okay, hold on. All right, so yeah. So, anyways, Bakugo sits down, and then Aizawa comes in. no, no, no. Everyone's like, no, Aizawa doesn't come in. Everyone's wondering where's Aizawa, and so what happens is this. A few minutes later, Deku says, "Oh, somebody's coming, but it's not Aizawa." And then all of a sudden the door opens up and it's All Might. Everyone is like cheering. Melissa, Kagome, they're really not cheering, but they're saying, "Oh, it's All Might." Cool. Deku, he's a fanboy, but it's just like he dialed down on the whole entire like, oh yeah, like it's All Might, like oh my god, I need an autograph and something like that. He just says, "Oh, the number one hero." That's it. He's not like gonna be fanboy because one, he died, and two, it's like he learned from Lucifer saying like it's better off not to not be a fan, all like act like a fanboy, just being oversighted and all that sometimes because it does make you look like a weirdo. So he says, "All right, true," but right away, Taku just notices something. All Might's injured. So, everyone puts on, All Might, presses a button, the hero costumes come down, and Deku just says, "All Might, sir, can I, ask you something?" Or should I say, "No, can I talk to you real quick about something?" And he goes, "Oh, yes, you can. But can it be right now or later?" He goes like, "Now would be preferable. Unless Kagome don't understand what's happening, near this Bakugo." But he just looks at both of them and just says, "You can go. I'll be real quick. I'll see you guys, a little bit later." They, nod and leave. So All Might and, Deku are in the room. And he says, "Young Midoriya, what do you, need, from me?" He goes like, "Your injury. Lift up your... your injury." He goes, "What? How do you... I can easily tell that you're hurting. Your emotions. It's in pain. You're in pain. A lot of it. And I can even hear your thoughts about your, injury. And your time limit. I can take that time limit away easily." He goes, "How can you?" He goes, "I can heal it." He goes, "What? What? You can heal me?" He goes, "Yeah, I can. I am... Well, how should I say this? I have the power... Well, no, my quirk is called Devil. So, I can easily heal you. Just, just tell me where it is and I'll, heal it." He goes, "Alright." So I think his like suit, or his little suit can like lift up. So basically he lifts up his like, hero costume. Basically it's the same line in canon. So he does that, and Deku just doesn't even wince at it. He goes, "Yeah, that's pretty nasty. You should have been dead by now, but you're not. Impressive." As All Might is thinking, this kid didn't wince from it. What's wrong? He goes, "Oh, I died already." He goes, "What?" And then Deku just walking over to him. He goes, "What do you mean you died already? How is that possible if you're..." He goes, "Easy. My quirk activated upon my death." And then all of a sudden, Deku's hands on All Might's wound, and a green light appears. And then all of a sudden, All Might's not feeling nothing. It's like all of a sudden he feels way more, but he feels way more powerful. No more pain. Nothing. It's gone. As he looks down, and there's like, no, as Deku summons out a mirror, and it just shows the area where the wound was, as it's gone. He feels like everything's back to normal. He's gonna go recover real quick, but she's gonna examine his body. He goes, "This is permanent. Don't worry. Also, your power, your quirk, it seemed like it could be passed on." He's, "What?" He goes, "I can already tell just by touching you. Your powers seem to be passed on, and you're getting weaker from it." It must have been one of my classmates who has it, because it seemed like someone similar to... Ah, as he smiles, he goes, "So that's it. You found your successor, and he chose him." He goes, "Are you going to..." He goes, "No. Why do I need to relay that information to anyone? This is our little secret." As he puts his fingers to his lips, and like we say something like "shh," but he just said that, and he just walks away, as almost just saying to himself, "What? That kid? Wow. Okay." And then Deku, when he gets to the door though, he says, "Oh yeah, my quirk is multiple things." It's a court that has multiple properties to it. And I do not work for somebody called All for One. But he is wanted to go. He is wanted to go to hell. So if I see him, as he kind of just like his nails grow out a little bit longer, he goes, "That'll be the only villain I will ever get rid of." As he makes a smile, as All Might gets a chill down his spine. So, after that, he goes into the changing room. Most people are gone. Kirishima is like still there as he grabs Kirishima from while they were walking. He goes, and Kirishima goes, "What's wrong with Midoriya, bro?" He goes, "Oh my, you're his successor. Also, his wound is healed. I'll help you out train if you ever need it. All right?" He goes, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I'll help you train. Also, I know a person that can help you get some better support items if you need it. So, don't worry." As he walks away, Kirishima's just very confused, but it's like, all right, okay. Thanks, Midoriya, bro. He goes, "No problem." So yeah, so everyone's walking. Deku changes clothes and like, he just snaps his fingers and his clothing just suddenly appears right on him. He has a mirror appear, and Lucifer's been around him still, like he's still the snake, and he just says, "You don't look too bad on it with you. I mean, you don't look too shabby with this on." He was like, "I know, right? I look pretty awesome." And he says, "Try to bring out your wings." He goes, "Sure." As long as he does. He brings out the wings, and he goes, "So my wings can pass through the material really easily." He goes, and Lucifer says, "That Emily, she really is impressive as always." And Deku just says, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back to her shop and get a couple support items for Melissa and Kagome, and maybe Kirishima too." As Lucifer just smiles and he says, "You really have taken a liking to those two. Why not just date them?" It was like, I really would love to, but it's just like, I don't know for sure if I'm ready for a relationship. Also, they rejected me. What am I supposed to do? It was true. A little bit of revenge isn't bad, but don't take too long. I can feel how your heart is. You really do care for them a lot. Just don't waste it, Midori. Don't waste it, Izuku." As he says, "All right, Lucifer. I'll talk to them about it. I'll talk to them more about it, and we'll have a day and see how we like it." So yeah. So what happens is, everyone comes out. Deku's a little bit, late. Not a little bit late. He's like, same thing like Ken. He just runs out, and everyone sees him, and they see he already put away the wings and such. But everyone sees him, and they're like, Kagome and Melissa faces just go bright red. No, they no, it just doesn't register. They just they can't move, they can't talk, and I remember Momo, Mina, Jiro, or Araka, Suyu. I did take out Invisible Girl, so I think those were the only ones. Wait. Yeah, I think those were the only girls in the class. So Invisible was sent out. So Raka, Momo, Jiro, Mina. Yeah, they were the only girls from class 1A in the original. But yeah, and they're just Midoriya, you look as then right away Kagome and Melissa says hot, and he just smiles. He goes, "Of course I do," as he walks over to them and says, "So, how I actually, guys, I'm just doing it right now." He goes, I'm just have him ask them out. He goes, "So, you want to go on a date with me?" as he walked up to both of them as they just eyes are wide and they're just smiling as they just say yes as he can hear coming on. He hears his Denki. He hears Denki. Bakugo kind of had a crush. No, Bakugo was like somewhat friends with them, so it's like he's like what? He's just in shock, and Kaminari is saying like no, and Kirishima goes like, wow, that's shocking, and the rest of the guys are just like, what? No. No. One saying what? No. Like Zero, he wanted to like ask at least Kagome out, and freaking Tokiyami just says, he did like Melissa, but he just realized he didn't like her. He liked her as a friend. So yeah, Double Arms was okay. Abara, he knows Invisible Girl and they're dating. So yeah, I'm not gonna ruin that. I'm just putting that in. I just wanted to put that in there, and everything else goes the same. So basically, the girls are just in shock. And they say, "How do you, what?" And he goes, you girls do know I knew these two from middle school and most of my life, right? I just never was friends with them until recently, and we got to know each other for a very long time now." And they say, "Yeah, we made our biggest mistake for our life. We thought we lost him one time, and they're just holding his arms now. As soon as they said that, and we never want to lose him again, as he can feel them remembering how he looked when he did what he did. So he just basically he just basically hugs them both, and just says it's not your fault. Well, kinda, but not really. A small bit of it. I say, you're not helping. He goes like, I know, but hey, I'm trying to comfort you too. Be happy. And they say, fine. So Momo, it's about to ask, but All Might does come over and he says about the costume thing, the hero and all that, you'll be frozen. And so that happens. Everyone gets here and there's he does ask about the snake and he just says he made it with his quirk. He goes, alright. He never told him about it. And so what happens is, he does the random thing, but then it's like Uraraka and Izuku and Midoriya versus Ida and Bakugo, and Bakugo is same thing as Canon. So he's the villain team, and he's not gonna rush. He's gonna make a plan. He's just gonna make a plan with Ida and be more cautious when he faces him, and so yeah, that's the thing. They're making a plan right now. Uraraka is splitting her quirk to Deku, and he just says, very interesting. She goes, what? It was the nausea. Maybe I can help you get rid of that. She goes, really? He goes like, yeah. And then he just pokes her on the head, and all of a sudden, she goes, I don't feel like it. Was like, oh, well, give it time. No, use your quirk on a heavy object, and it'll make you tired, just not nauseous no more, or puke and all that. And she goes, oh, okay. And so that happens. They made a plan just to search for the bomb, if needed, split up, and Bako would have, he says to her while they're in the building. Well, they come up with a plan, then, All Might says, alright, hero team, go, as they start walking into the building. She asks about Bakugo and, does he know him? He goes, yeah, I know him. He's a lot different than what he is now. He goes, why? He goes, something happens that he blames himself for. Sorry, just had to drop my fan. But she asks, what do you mean? He goes like, it's something personal and about me that I'm okay with talking about it, but it's just, I don't want people to think Bakugo is a bad person. He was cocky, arrogant, a jerk, but that's because people made him that way. She goes, what do you mean? So he explains how Bakugo was when he was a kid. How he bullied, but, but it wasn't really his fault. He even explained about the kids and like when the preschool and the teachers and all that. And she's a little bit shocked that because of that his ego skyrocketed. And she says, "So he bullied you?" He goes, "Yeah." And I was quirkless. And she goes, "Wait, what?" She stopped in her place and said that. And he goes, "Yeah, I was quirkless for a while. For a very long time. But it turns out I went to the famous court doctor, you know, Sura, Dr. Sura." And she goes, "Wait, the famous court doctor?" He goes, "Yeah. We found out that I had a quirk, but we didn't know what. But he knew it was very powerful, very dangerous I became if I decide to do anything too dangerous." As the snake is just nodding. As she goes, "Why do you have the snake though too?" He was like, "Oh, I made it from a chain, and I like having a pet. It seems way more fun having one around, and I can use the eyes for extra eyes." And she goes, "Oh, all right." His listener was just thinking to himself, "Clever kid." He knows he's clever, but he didn't know he was this clever. But yeah, so basically, he then goes to explain that we found out that I needed to die first or go to a near death state. So something happened. I unlocked my quirk. And she goes, "How, like near death state?" He goes, "No, dying." "Well, near death. Well, I actually did die." And she goes, "What?" Then he goes, "Yeah, my quirk brought me back to life. Pretty amazing, huh?" As she's just in shock, and he goes, "And it's called Devil. So that's the reason why I got the horn, the red eyes. My hair was green originally, but it became black and a little bit longer and such. Wait, yeah, I think I made it black. I'm not gonna go back to the first video now. I don't care, but black and red eyes and such. So if I said it was white or something, I'm changing it to black. But so yeah. So he just says, and also he feels great. He feels a lot stronger and such, and he doesn't blame Bakugo. He's not gonna call him Kachan. It's just that's too childish, and it's we're like teenagers, so he didn't give him the respect he deserves. So basically, he says, and she goes, "So after everything he's done, you forgive him?" He goes, "There's no point in holding a grudge against somebody. I died, I came back. It's simple." As then, everyone in the monitor room heard this. They, were in shock. All Might was in shock, and then Uraraka, while they hear, goes, "But was it just Bakugo?" He goes, "No, it was many people that bullied me, called me worthless, useless, quirkless, just names, and it did hurt. I couldn't use a quirk because I had to die first to even unlock it. How would you feel about that?" And Araki says, "Pretty sucky." He says, "Yeah." They get to the third floor. They're on the third floor already, and they search almost every room. And Deku just says, "I think it's at the top, so let's just keep going." And they say, and Araki says, "Yeah." And so he, explains it a little bit more. And so Araki is just like surprised. She then asks about your Kigome and Melissa. He goes, "Oh, well them. Well, I liked them. I liked both of them, and I didn't know if I could choose both or ask them both out, but I asked each individually one of them out, and that was during the first middle school year, I believe. Yeah, it was the beginning of my first year of middle school. I knew them. They were already the most popular girls in the school. Well, one of them was popular, one was just a friend, but they were both popular. So I asked both of them out, and so Araki says they said yes to you, and or they said no. He goes, "They rejected me, both of them. I asked them both at different times. It was like on Valentine's Day." and they rejected me, and it hurts. Did they say why would someone, you're just quirkless and all that, you can't, you're useless, which kind of was true. I didn't really work out at all, but I kind of was upset, and I was mad at them. I did hate them for a while, but it turns out after they rejected me, he says, they talked about, they just kept on seeing me, go around, and I was like looking upset, and let's just say they felt bad, and then they started to realize that they were hurting, and they made a list of the positives and the negatives of me, and the only thing that was negative about me, that was I was quirkless, and there was like a lot of positives on tally. So the day I died was the day they were gonna ask me out and apologize, and Uraraka and all the girls, everyone in the classroom, well, everyone in the monitor room, just looks at them, and they just see, tears going down their eyes and such, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, they're probably crying right about now. Hold on." As he just teleports right to them and just, hugs them and just says, "Shh, calm down, jeez. It's alright." They say, "No, we shouldn't have said those things. We're sorry." They just start, just started crying like crazy, basically. And he just says, All Might, is it okay if I knock them out? He goes, and All Might just nods. And he just, kind of just does a little, like, humming sound that only they hear, and they, suddenly just, pass out. As, he puts them down carefully. And, the girls are just looking at him, and he goes, "What?" He goes, "How can you, not hate them?" He goes, "I became friends with them at first, and I still cared about them. I liked them for a long time, so what can I say? I don't give up." And then he just teleports back to Araka. And he just asks, she asks what happened. He goes, "Oh, they were crying, and they, they started saying they're sorry, we should never have done that." They regret it a lot. I mean, like, I'm able to feel their emotions. So I could tell how much they regret it, and it is a lot. Like, they made the biggest mistake of their life, and let's just say I did it during when school was about to. I did it during lunch period. He says when she goes, "Wait, why?" He goes, "What do you mean?" Like, she asks, "Oh, when I killed myself," and that's when her, like, basically he says death. Remember? He goes, "Yeah, I know you died, but you how?" He goes, "Swine off of a roof," and everyone in the monitor room and Araka just in shock, and he goes, "Yeah, pretend how they saw me go down and hit the ground, and well, they saw what happened. They saw what I looked like, and that was in their heads. And let's just say they they weren't okay mentally until I came back up and started talking. They were like really, really like upset." And she goes, "I bet, yeah. Just realize you like a guy, and what you did was hurt them, and then this, a year later you found out, you have a crush on them and everything, then, you made the worst mistake, you're about to try to find them and fix it, and then you found out they died, right, and you basically saw them fall and, splat on the floor. Yeah, that ain't good. That ain't, like, okay, so, yeah, so then, Bakugo, um, they get to the fourth floor. Bakugo's, there. He's just like waiting in a different room. And he just tells her Raka to go. Bakugo's, costume is still the same, but he has a few modifications to it. That way he has a setting to where he can actually make the explosions weaker or stronger. And he goes, "So, Bakugo, you good?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm fine." He goes, "Okay, enough of this freaking crap." He goes, "What?" He goes, "Look, seriously, get over it. God." He goes, "Yeah, I know you died, but you, how?" He goes, "Swine off of a roof." And then, Bakugo just in shock, and he goes, "Yeah, I know you died, but you, how?" He goes, "Swine off of a roof." And then, Bakugo just in shock, and he goes, "Yeah, I know you died, but you, how?" He goes, "Oh, very God." just because it happened, it happens. He goes, but Bakugo says, what do you mean? It was like, you're afraid of your own power now. Or should I say, you're afraid of yourself. You're afraid to be the Bakugo Katsuki that bullied me. He goes, Bakugo just kind of steps back. He goes, I don't know what you mean. I'm not scared. He goes, the Bakugo I knew never stuttered. He goes, so? He goes, you're afraid. You're afraid that you can kill me again. You're afraid that you can kill anyone again. And that fear is what's gonna kill you. You won't become a hero. You can't become the #1 hero. He goes, shut it. He goes, aw, what's wrong, Bakugo? You really are panicking? Because I'm getting closer. He goes, shut it, Zuko. He goes, what happened to Deku, huh? Calling me that all this time. For years. And now you're starting to call me a Zuko? You really are pathetic now. Maybe I should show you how it was when I died. He goes, no, don't. He goes, what? You don't want to feel my pain? You don't want to feel the pain I felt all the memories I had before? He goes, stop it. He goes, why? Why should I stop it when you didn't? He goes, he just stays silent, and then, Bakugo's right against a wall now, and Deku's just like getting right near him, and then he looks away, but then when he looks back, he sees Deku's fist coming right towards him, and he just like closes his eyes, and Zuki just punches his fist right into a wall. He goes, you really aren't Bakugo Katsuki. And he just opens up his eyes. He sees his arm. Deku's arm is in the wall, and he just said, as Bakugo just looks at him in fear, he goes, get over it. As he grabs it with his left hand, he goes, you weren't the only one who did it. Remember, it was Melissa and Kagome who also did it, but then they started stopping. They did it for me for years. Remember, you weren't the only one. Everyone in the middle school did it to me. Multiple times. They called me quirkless. They called me a loser. They said I was nothing. And I can't even become a hero. For years, Bakugo, you're the one who started, but they're the one who added on the fire. I forgive them already, both Melissa and Kagome, as you see. And I'm actually happy that I actually died. I met someone. I could be. Or someone different. It doesn't even matter. But my quirk activated. You were the perfect reason. You gave me the perfect reason why. And I thank you for it. As he does rip out his arm out of the wall and he lets it go, he goes, so now, act like the Bakugo Katsuki that I freaking hated. And he goes, and then he goes, and it was basically Bakugo suddenly kind of like snaps out of it. He goes like, what did it say to me, you shitty nerd? And then he goes, there he is. There's the angry freaking Pomeranian that I hate. As he has a grin, and Lucifer just smiling. Well, he's just laughing as everyone's saying like, what the? As he goes, thanks for bringing me back. He goes, yeah, but, just act the way you were a little bit. He goes, duh, of course. Freak, I'd messed up a lot then. He goes, yeah, but we can start over. He goes, really? He goes, after I give you your royal, beating. He goes, oh, you're on, nerd. As they just start running at each other. As they just Bakugo just started throwing explosions. Deku just started dodging. Deku starts manipulating the flames. And it's like Bakugo's, what the? As he gets hit by his own, flames. And he goes, what? I got more powers than you can ever imagine. Basically, it's called Devil, remember? So what do you think? I don't have control over flames? He goes, oh crap, that means you can even create your own. He goes, yeah, but I don't want to kill you, so I won't. And he goes, oh, that'll be the wrong choice, nerd. As he just runs over, they start throwing fists, hand-to-hand combat. As Bakugo's realizing that he is lacking, he is really lacking. He's starting to get his butt kicked. He can't even lay one hand on Midoriya. As the next, Midoriya just suddenly punches Bakugo in the gut and twists his fist as then he sends Bakugo flying into a wall. As he goes, okay, that was a good one, and I can't get up now. He just implant the wall and then fall. He says, all right, as he basically captures Bakugo. He goes, you stay here and I'll take care of the rest. He goes, sure, go get the Mizuku. Okay, just give me a minute or two. Oh God, that hurts. So yeah, so he calls her Araka. She says she found it. He kind of senses where she is, so he teleports right to her, and they both walk in. Ida says, halt there, heroes! I'll not let you come through, because I am going to defeat you both. And then Deku just suddenly has him up in the air, and it's like telekinesis. He just tells her I can just go touch the bomb, and so Ida, she does, and the hero team wins. He lets down Ida, and basically Ida says, well done, Midoriya. That was very well planned. He goes, yeah, I just thought, hey, he may act like a villain, so why not just let him talk, and then I can just telekinesis him up, and he doesn't even notice until, it's too late. He goes, yes, that was very well executed. How's Bakugo? He's like, oh, he got beaten up to lifetime. He goes, why? And then he just kind of pours information into what he told, he told Uraraka and everything else. He goes, alright. They go to, Bakugo, and he goes, my gut still hurts. And he goes, oh, I might have broken a freaking organ or something. He goes, really, nerd? He goes, yeah. And so he just touches, Bakugo as he heals him. He goes like, oh, thank God, I don't hurt no more. He goes, yeah, it's a good thing. So, what happens is, everyone, Melissa and Kagome did wake up. They, saw them win. They smile. And, Todoroki's kind of thinking, his, Izuku's quirk is, very powerful. He's powerful such, so he has, he declares him a rival. But anyways, so, when they get back to the monitor room, Bakugo and him are talking, Kagome and, Melissa just, as soon as they see him, they just run over and jump on him. And it's they, there's everyone's going so the guys are saying lucky, the girls are saying about, Kagome and Melissa saying lucky, Uraraki's just saying aww. And she kind of looks at Bakugo and she goes, don't you think they're cute? And he just says, well, considering he did have a crush on them, and after a while they did have a crush on him, yeah. As they aren't crying, just hugging him and saying great job. And he goes why do you have to tackle hug me? They go, because we can. He goes, alright, whatever. So yeah, the matches go somewhat somewhere. But Melissa Kagome are on a team together. So yeah. Let's say they versus Sero and whoever he was with. But he probably was with Mineta, so Sero and Ojiro. So yeah, they win. Everyone, basically asked who was the MVP of the class, and it just goes right to Deku. So yeah. A couple days pass, and they had to I'm just gonna do this. Everyone tried to vote for Deku, but he says he's not willing to do it, so he gives his alright to Ida. Ida said he'll take it. They did the vote and all that, and basically the thing does happen at the cafeteria. The alarm goes off. Everything happens the same way, and then it's and then it's the USJ. So everyone starts talking about their quirks and all. And Deku, talking to Melissa and Kagome, they went on their date. They had fun. They had a ball. They, they went to they went to they just walked around. They went to the mall. Again, there was a movie playing, so they watched it. They just had fun, and they both kissed him on the cheek after he dropped each one off. So yeah, they're dating. They're official boyfriend girlfriend, boyfriend and girlfriends. Basically, they're both dating him, and they're okay with it. He's okay with it. So yeah, and he's just happy. When they get to him about his quirk, they says, oh, they never heard a quirk that could have been
activated upon death. Todoroki's kind of listen when they talk about it. And then they ask, is there like any drawback? He says, no, not really. Haven't found any yet. They're like, wow. He goes, yeah, I know. So that's what happens. Todoroki says, crud. And then he also says, oh, he can also make ice too. I mean, he goes, wait, what? He goes, yeah, I mean, I can manipulate any element, and I can make fire and ice. So it's kind of cool. And I can also, manipulate trees and other plant life and, just help me out and stuff. Air itself, too. So, I don't know why I'm being tired now. Wow. Well, I haven't eaten anything, so, yeah. So, basically, what happens is everyone's like kind of like confused. He just says my quirk has a lot of new things to do. All Might is there, so everything's gonna go different for the USJ. So yeah, he did get them. He did take them over to Emily, and she told him about how she just helps out Izuku because of Lucifer, and they were like, what? And then they told him what happened, and as soon as he says, he ended it, and they just started crying because he actually did die. He was lying to them about it, and he had to, because that's the thing. But he couldn't. He didn't want to lie to them anymore. Instead just saying like, we're glad you're okay, and then this whole entire time, they thought the snake couldn't talk when Lucifer actually started talk. He he's possessing the snake and all. He's been doing it. As soon as he started talking, they just freak out a little bit. And he says, "My name is Lucifer. I'm possessing the snake, and such." And you're too lucky that he is forgiven of you. And they kind of like still crying and all, but they get up and he just says Zuko is very kind and all, and he's glad that you liked him before. The whole entire, he got his power and all. And they said, of course we liked him. He was very kind to us, and we treated him like crap, and we just, we wanted, we, like, afterwards, after we found out that we liked him, we felt bad, and we wanted to make it up to him right away. We wanted to date him, too, so, and then he died and all, now we just, they just, like, started to still cry again, and he just kind of just, like, calms them down, and they're, basically, Emily had, like, they were like in like an office with her, so there was like a little like cushions. I mean, not like there was like a seat or like a bed. I mean, couch, and he just like goes over there and just walking with him. He just sits down and they all just sit down. They just like start cuddling with him with that. So yeah, and Emily says, "Oh, look at you three, so cute," and he just says, "Shut it." She just smiles. So yeah, so the USJ, they know about Lucifer. No one else does besides his mom. And so what happens is, the quirk, everyone's amazed by it. He just tells them a few things he can do with his quirk, but there's a lot more things. Also, he also tells them he has wings. And they go like, really? He goes, yeah, his hero costume allows his wings to come out. So he kind of just like brings them out a little bit, but they're not like, they don't like go like, he has to stand up and make sure they don't hit anyone, so he does that. And then it's like folded in, and there's like, he was saying, wow. And he goes, yeah, pretty cool, huh? And he goes, yeah. Bakugo's just saying, so you can fly, and you're strong. You can do multiple things. Can I ask you a question? Izuku goes, like, yeah. He goes like, can we train together? He goes like, sure. I can also help you with your explosions. How to, make sure they're powerful, but they're not that big. He goes like, cool. So yeah, so that happens, and the USJ, they get there. 13 talks about the course and how dangerous they can be. Bakugo takes this to heart because he knows now that he realizes his quirk is dangerous, but if he uses the right way, he can become a hero. So he's like making sure that it never happens again, like what happened to Izuku. Well, now it happened to Deku, so yeah. And Deku just senses something. He lets Aizawa and 13 know, and All Might. They're ready, and when they get in, 13 says, "Welcome to the USJ." The door closes, and yeah. So what happens is, the villains come out and they say, "We're here to kill. We're here to kill All Might." They just say that, and then Deku says, "Oh, villains, League of Villains." he read Shigaraki's mind, and he knows about All For One. He goes, "Oh, All For One is still alive, huh?" And All Might, I mean, because he did, talk about like All Might, thought he killed him, but he says if he is alive, he's gonna end him. So he knows All Might. I mean, All For One is alive, so there's All Might now because he said it, and everyone's confused. And basically just says a person who can steal other people's quirks, who's basically a enemy of All Might's, or should I say, the whole entire people that have quirks enemies. And so, someone, and Momo says, what's so dangerous about him if he can steal people's quirks? He goes, he forcefully takes it and you can die. Even die from being, given the quirk. So yeah, as everyone's like kind of horrified by this, as Deku just suddenly said, like walking towards All Might as on 13, he says, I'll take care of everything. I need to test out my powers a little bit more. As he just smiles and he has the wings out. The horns are not they're kind of grown a little bit, but it's like because he's not like Lucifer is not taking over. Lucifer, they grow full size, like they grow to actual Lucifer size one, but when Deku was trying to use 100% of his power, well of Lucifer's power basically. Oh no, his power now. The horns, the horns will grow a little, just a little, and that's it. His eyes are glowing a little bit red. As everyone's thinking, what can this kid do? As he just says, "Oh, I can do quite a lot actually." As then he just moves his hand to the side, like waves it as the ground underneath their feet. All of a sudden, like no, as the wind hits a whole bunch, all the villains out of the way, and he goes, "Oof." Like, ouch, that had to hurt. As Shigaraki, Kirigiri are saying, what the? As the Nomu's just, there, as Deku senses that it doesn't have a soul. It's dead. As he tells them, that creature, that thing, it's not a villain, it's dead. It's a lot of dead, it's like 2 dead corpses put together and given quirks. As All Might, everyone's in shock and All Might, did get down there just in case if, he'll need help. As he said, what? 2 corpses put together? He goes, yes. I have a feeling I know the man. Like, I have a feeling about the doctor. I'm thinking like I know him or something. So yeah. Deku's not putting it together right away. But he's, Shirai tells him, Nomu, kill that brat. As, he just runs. So Nomu runs at top speed. Deku just dodges it. And then all of a sudden, an arm comes off. And he goes, huh. Is this supposed to be, so strong? It seems so slow and weak. As basically the Nomu regenerates as he goes, oh, alright. Let me test out my fire now. As he puts the hand on the near the Nomu, and he goes, hell flames. And all of a sudden the flames are just a bright red, and the Nomu just bursts into flames basically, and it's just screaming out in pain. In a matter of seconds, it's just turned to bones, and it just turns to dust. He goes, huh, that's pretty fast. That's about 3.5 seconds. Interesting. It wasn't even a fight. I did not need to do much. I didn't really need to do much with this one, but hey, so everything doesn't happen similar. So it's just like Kirigiri gets them out of there. Shigaraki says, I'll find out who you are and I'll make sure you'll pay. And Deku just kind of just erases both of their minds of his face. And he just makes he just gives a look of it's he had no face and no eyes, no mouth, nothing. And the hair was red. So yeah. He just did that really easily. He manipulated their minds. So when they leave, they don't remember who it is. They don't remember what he looks like and all. But but they know he has a fake, the fake one that they have. So yeah. So what happens is, All Might says, young Midoriya, that was amazing. He was like, yeah, I know, I'm pretty good. So yeah, he just he walks back over to everyone else. He goes, all right, let's get this rescue course done. As they said, what about the villains? He goes, oh, I'll take care of that real quick. As he calls up the cops. The cops do calm the And they arrested all the villains. They asked who took it down, and they just All Might says it was me. He just doesn't want to because Izuku did kind of do without any like permission and such. So yeah, Aizawa says yeah it was All Might. So does 13. Everyone else does too. Gome and Melissa are just like hugging his arms, just smiling. He just says you did well. You did really good. He goes I know. I'm always good at doing this stuff. So yeah. So that happens. The next day happens. They get told that, they have 2 weeks. They have like a week. No, they have 2 weeks off. So they can train. So basically, Bakugo, Kirishima, Melissa, and Kagome ask Deku if they can help out with training. Train them, and he goes, "I will. I don't mind." So, and that's where I'm gonna end it off, everyone. I do hope you enjoyed the video. This video will be coming out while I'm at work. So yeah. Anyways, bye everyone. Have a nice day, night, wherever you are. Bye.